All right, so there's a lot of really cool things in MoP Remix that I love about it, and I think it's great. But there's also a lot of things that they need to work on. I was really, really excited when MoP Remix was coming out, and then it launched, and there's some things that I really didn't like. Now, we're going to go over some pros and more cons than anything. So, just to give you guys a heads up, if you don't like listening to any negative comment, then this is probably not the video for you. So now that I got that out there and you've been given a warning, let's dive into first. Let's just go ahead and dive into the pros of MoP Remix. So one, the gem system is actually pretty cool. I do at times feel pretty powerful, not all the time, but I do feel like I'm getting a different kind of power that I'm able to, kill mobs faster, or there's that punch, that hit that makes everything kind of just click. And there's a lot of different combinations that I'm testing out that I really, really enjoy, and I like where they're going with that. Number two is that I'm able to go through this content, and this is all going to qualify for the Lore Master achievement later on. Miss of Pandaria was an expansion that I really didn't play all the way through, or really I came back into World of Warcraft at the very end. So I haven't finished the questing on a lot of these areas, and now I'm able to do that while playing MoP Remix. And I hate to say it, but that's about all the pros I have. We're gonna now jump into the cons, and I've got a list. So second chance, if you don't like negative stuff, this is your time to, maybe go watch another video. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the original post of MoP Remix, and we're gonna go over a couple of things in here that I think that they kind of gypped us out on and basically lied to us just to get us to play the game. So here are a couple of points that I was reading yesterday and going, well, they kind of screwed that up. So here's the first one. Accelerated leveling and content allowing you to take on nearly every quest, scenario, dungeon, and raid. That's true. All of that is true, except for the accelerated leveling. It doesn't feel accelerated, all right? Because there's a difference between boosted experience and accelerated. And maybe this is just a different understanding of what the word accelerated really represents, because when I think of accelerated, I'm thinking of Diablo 3 and having your friend run you through a tier 6 rift just to get you leveled up to 70 as fast as possible. Now, before you guys all start going into the comments and be like, well, Diablo 3 and World of Warcraft are two separate games, you can't compare them. Well, I just did. They both have leveling aspects in their games, and I wanted to get through the leveling process in MoP Remix as fast as possible, because if they're going to advertise that we're going to have an accelerated leveling process, not just a boosted leveling process, but accelerated, something that's faster, but yet we had to grind out on our cloaks, and I will talk about the cloaks later on. I'm kind of pissed off about that. But the fact that we had to build up our cloaks to even get something that was boosted, not really accelerated, but just boosted, I think they kind of missed the mark on this one. For me, and maybe not for a lot of you guys, but for me, the leveling just isn't fast enough, and it could be faster. Create a new WoW Remix character starting at level 10 and venture through the event up to level 70. Yeah, they got that right. We're leveling again. We've been leveling for 20 years. I mean, it's nothing new. Here's one. A mountain of loot. Get powerful items from everywhere. Quest, chest, creatures, bosses. You're getting gems. You're getting scrolls. And that's about the loot, all the loot you get. I mean, it's fun. They're fun, but it's just the gear is very lackluster, because you get your gear and sometimes they may get upgraded to a blue. Sometimes you may even get an epic. But the fact is that when you get a piece of gear that has the stat that you want, let's say crit strike, you can pretty much keep that piece of gear and just pay the bronze to upgrade it later. And you don't have to worry about getting other gear anymore, because you can just upgrade that one piece of gear because you know that that's what you want. So getting more gear doesn't have any kind of special feeling to it. And I do want to go over what I think they could have implied on the gear to make it a little bit more exciting when you get a new piece of gear. Customizable items allowing you to power up as fast as you can go to take on tougher content. Allowing you to power up as fast as you can go to take on tougher content. That is something that's out of my control, because all of the gems that you get, I'm just hoping that they proc. And sometimes in a fight, they don't proc a lot, and the fight takes a little bit of time to actually get the enemy down. And the cloak only does so much. I just don't feel powerful because the scaling is off. And that's something we're going to come back to later on. That is something that really, really needs to be fixed in this game. Convert unwanted items into bronze, which can be used to upgrade items or purchase cosmetics. The purchasing cosmetics is great. I love that. We got this currency. We can buy all the stuff that we may have missed out in the past. But as far as upgrading your gear with bronze, the amount, my friend Jay actually did the calculation. You have to have like 28,000 bronze to upgrade one piece of gear to its max potential. That is a massive, massive grind. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us don't want to do that because here's the thing. We've got only 80 something days left in MoP. Kata Classic just came out, so if we want to play Kata, we're gonna have to dedicate some time to that. So when are we gonna have time to grind out in MoP Remix? It's like, where do you want us to play? You know, you've given us all this stuff, but like you've made it into a grind. Lower the amount. You know, let us actually complete the content, for crying out loud. Keep what you collect. Take your collection of transmogs with you into the war within, which is cool. You know, I expected that to happen. I like that. This is the same equivalent of the Legion invasions where we brought all of our alts and they just power leveled by killing a bunch of, like, you know, demons and stuff like that, but they're just trying to make it more fun, and we're going to carry all of that into the next expansion. That's cool. Here's one that really gets me. With WoW Remix, Mists of Pandaria, there will be no slowing you down, and you'll be able to take on nearly every quest scenario, dungeon, and raid right out of the gate with accelerated leveling from 10 to 70. I don't feel like when you first start off that it's accelerated, because when you start off and your cloak says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on all the stats, how are you becoming accelerated right off the gate, out of the gate? Again, with the accelerated leveling thing, right out of the gate, you have nothing that's going to accelerate you. You have to build up your cloak with all these threads. So you're not really going any faster at the beginning. You don't start feeling anything until about level 30. That's not the experience that we were told that we were going to get. The new loot system with all the gems, those are pretty cool. I like the combinations you can do, and I'm having a lot of fun with that, so I will give that a plus. I know we've already gone through the pros, but I do want to say that I like this system. It's pretty fun. Here's where I have one of the biggest issues, is the cloak. So yes, it does say, and I made a video a while back saying that this is not what they promise, and because I missed one little bit of information, the internet thought that I didn't read any of it, which is dumb. You guys are living in absolutes. Like, don't do that. Jeez. But yes, it does say here that as you go through, you're going to be given threads that are going to be woven into your cloak to permanently increase your power. But then they had posted this picture next to it, like an example, but they didn't say that this is an example. They were just like, here are the stats. So it kind of like catches people's eyes, and then you can get 324% experience gain. They kind of made us think that this is how it was going to be, like, out of the gate, you know? Because if you miss that one sentence, which is right here, when you equip it, grants the following aura: the threads of time you find will be woven into this cloak permanently, increasing your power. If you miss that, and then you see this right here, you're going to get a little confused, because you're thinking, oh, this is what I'm getting, and we're going to just level really quick and get to endgame and have a lot of fun. That's what I was expecting. But here's the thing that really ticks me off about the cloak. And this is where I feel like Blizzard lied to us. Power you earn on your strongest character is shared with alternate characters created for the event to make leveling even faster. That is a 50% lie right there. My main character has a 185% experience gain right now or something like that. And I made a demon hunter, and he started off with like 17% bonus to his experience gain. That is not sharing my cloak stats with my other characters. That's not at all. Blizzard needed to make the cloak a 1-to-1 ratio sharing. Whatever your main character has, the highest stats, all of your alts should have that, because most people don't want to do the grind all over again. We'll get to our fixes later, but that is one of the biggest gripes that I have with MoP Remix. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump into all the fixes that we could do right now. And there's a few of them, not a whole bunch, but these ones are really important. One, you got to fix the scaling. There were times when I was leveling, I was maybe like level 35 or something like that, and I would level to 38, and I didn't upgrade any of my gear yet, and I was having a hard time killing mobs because they had scaled so high in just 3 levels. It was impossible to continue on questing. So you're forced to go back, upgrade your gear, you know, with spending bronze and stuff like that, and then you can continue questing or doing dungeons or raids or whatever. And I understand that it's going to take a while for Blizzard to fix these things, but I'm making this content because, one, I'm upset that it turned out like this when it was launched, and two, I flippin' care about this because I like it so much, and I want there to be content and people to start talking about it so that Blizzard is aware that we're not happy with this and we like for you to change because we want to have a really good experience. Two, fix the cloak. It's gotta be a 1-to-1 ratio. That's not fair to us. We put in the work getting all the threads to make our cloaks as powerful as they are. They need to be transferred to a new character if we're gonna start a brand new alt and have all the same stats as our main character has. I don't want to go through Jade Forest again and do all the quests that I just did. I want to breeze through that content and get my characters all the way up to 70 so I can enjoy the end game process. And 3, bronze. The cost of upgrading gear is astronomical. Yes, I know that they've increased the bronze that you get from like raids by like 25% or something like that, but it's still just not enough. If we want all of our gear to be upgraded, it's going to be a massive grind, and we're not going to have any other time to go into maybe Cataclysm Classic and level our characters over there, or even play Season 4 in Dragonflight. Like we're stuck in MoP Remix because we're feeling like pretty pressured because we only have a certain amount of time to get all the cosmetics we want. We want to spend the bronze on getting all the transmogs, but we want our characters to be powerful as well and enjoy the time we have in Pandaria. So lowering down the cost of things would be quite nice, especially upgrades. Oh, and 4, here's something that would make the gear maybe not feeling lackluster. I feel like the gear is pretty set in stone. If you have a certain, type of stat that you're going for, like we said before, critical strike, that's what you're pretty much gonna put on your gear. And some other places you might have some haste or something like that, but then that's it. You really don't need to look for any other pieces of gear. It would have been nice if they had gear that had those stats, but maybe a random piece of gear would drop that said, when equipped, this piece of gear will amplify the gem you have in your first slot by, so-and-so percentage. Or maybe a piece of gear that says, whenever you equip this, any fire damage that you do will be increased by like 200%. Because there are a lot of fire gems in this version of WoW. And that could be an amazing way to kind of, switch things up with your gem combination. Having random enchants put onto gear that just randomly, show up whenever you get loot would have been a huge bonus to the game. Anyways, these are just my ideas, and if you guys want to comment down below to tell me what your ideas are, whether you agree or disagree with this. Are you having fun with MoP Remix? I'm still playing it because I want to have fun with it, and I believe that it could be really good. If I didn't care, I probably wouldn't play it, guys. That's just how it is. But let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time in Azeroth. Take care.